Hello, Professor White. This is the topic that I am going to present to you, the spirituality of rest, ministering to the burnout caregivers. And as I present this to you, the people I have in mind are the people whom I'm going to replicate this presentation to my companions in Campus Ministries Office in Xavier University, the faculty and staff members of the university, the retreat participants who are coming from other schools, and church workers. Let me begin by saying, with my premises, number one, that we are all rest seekers. In one way or another, we need rests, regardless of professions, um, age, for as long as we are in a active profession or work, we all need rests. Second, I also believe about the um, integration between body and spirit, that a healthy body will also have a healthy spirit, or a healthy spirit will have a healthy body. And that is expressed in Latin words, mens sana in corpore sano. And I like this one as a start, as an introduction taken from one of my research when it asked the question, how does the opera singer take care of the voice? The baseball pitcher, they take care of the arm. The woodcutter, the axe. The photographer, the eyes. The ballerina, the legs and the feet. The practitioner, those who are in the helping profession, of course, we take care of the self. In this presentation, I will try to answer the following questions. Number one, I will try to expound this understanding of burnout based on my research. How is it being experienced, especially for those who are in the helping profession? Second is, given this context of burnout, uh, um, what is rest according to the study of spirituality and in Christian spirituality in general? So, what is rest according to the study of spirituality and to the Christian perspective? So, who are the caregivers? So, this is the list of the caregivers. So I have gotten this in my research. Usually, when we think about caregivers, they are doctors, they're nurses, counselors. But looking at the lists, it can be those people who gives themselves their time, their energy for others, and even the immigration attorney. Since they relate, they engage with others, that means that they are in a helping profession. They are caregivers who impart their paid services to others. It's important to notice this universal dilemma when one is in the helping profession. Number one, sometimes we are in the dilemma whether what is going to take care, what is going to, whom do we take care first? Do we take care first of ourselves or do we take care of others? And sometimes we put sacrifice by taking care of others first without taking care of ourselves. Second is this dilemma about the difficulty to say no. Sometimes we find it difficult to say no because there is some feeling of guilt when we say no. So these are universal dilemma for those who are in the helping profession according to my research. Now, let me describe what is this experience of burnout. So, there are three dimensions. Number one, emotional exhaustion. What does it mean? The inability to feel because of this experience of tiredness or exhaustion emotionally, the inability to relate, to connect. And I think that is emotional exhaustion. Depersonalization is destruction, the experience of having split mind and body, disintegration of the mind and the body. That's depersonalization. And as a result, there is a reduced personal accomplishment or a reduced body functioning or social functioning. So there is a reduced accomplishments of tasks. And so because of this, there's an experience of distancing of oneself from others and have difficulty function normally. And its comorbidity, it can be associated with an increase of blood pressure. So um, it's not just a psychological dysfunction, but it is also physical when there's an experience of increase of blood pressure, cholesterol levels, heart risk of heart diseases, among others. In my research, I found out that burnout overlaps with the term compassion fatigue. So, people who went through this experience of burnout are most likely experiencing this compassion fatigue, the inability to to empathize, the inability to feel and show concern to others. Which means that when we show concern to others, it might just be an autopilot thing because we are paid accordingly of our profession. But in reality, there is a sense of compassion fatigue. One author described the experience of some church pastors, how is burnout experienced on their own case. For instance, this one pastor says that burnout is like waking up one morning and not being able to function normally, having a hard time eating. I had no way to check my emotions. I just cried and cried and cried. I didn't know why. I couldn't make a decision. I thought I was having a nervous breakdown. So this is one example of burnout of one church pastor. Another one is this when he says one of the biggest things comes from within. He stated, it's the threat of rejection that over time the church members, will decide they don't really like you. So there's a sense of the need to be loved, appreciated, and successful. And so um once we have this feeling, we always seek approval of others. And it reached to the point when the pastor has experienced tiredness because of constantly seeking approval, constantly seeking to be appreciated, and so on. And according to this study, when the researcher asked these questions, what spiritual practices contribute to the pastor's emotional and spiritual well-being? What factors contribute to pastoral burnout? So there are 7 themes that emerge according to this study. And I would just like to cite one, which is the number 2. It says that what causes burnout is the unrelenting ministry demands, busyness, and feeling out of multiple roles. Maybe some pastors are doing some Aside from pastoral work, they are also raising funds for the church. So this is an experience of multitasking, and that can cause burnout to some pastors. For us Christians, when we experience this sense of burnout, we seek out for help. And seeking out for help is an experience of salvation. Or we do help ourselves in order to renew, recharge. And this is an experience of salvation for us. And so we don't stay from being burnout, but we transition to rests. And so allow me to give you some perspectives on how rests is seen from the perspective of spirituality. One is that this research that I have says that one fundamental belief that we have is we usually associate work with earning God's love or justification. And the author of this article that I read debunks this idea when he said that we are loved accordingly, not so much on what we do, on the doing aspect, but we are loved by God by simply just be ourselves. And so in our ministry, in our work, what matters also is not the doing, but the being. And when we emphasize this being, we have this um, we have this sense of resting in God just as we are, resting or being with Christ. And according to this author, he said that when we look at rest from Christian perspective, especially from the four evangelists, it's only the evangelist Mark who reports how Jesus sent the disciples who had returned joyfully from their pastoral work. They come together. And Jesus said, and this is very important, which I would like to emphasize, that even Jesus encourages us, those who are in the helping profession, to take some time to rest. And what did Jesus say? You must come away to some lonely place all by yourselves and rest for a while. For there were so many coming and going that the apostles had no time even to eat. So what did they do? They went off in a boat to a lonely place where they could be by themselves. Beautiful. So, from the Christian perspective, Jesus is encouraging us to take time to pause after being busy with our ministry. And to continue, what are other spiritual forms of rests? And there are a good number. One, sleep. Second, physical movement. Third, observance of solitude, silence, and stillness. Appreciating the goodness and reality of life. And taking the Sabbath worship, which is for us Catholics, Christians, we go to our churches to celebrate the Mass or church services. And these are rests, forms of rest for us to recharge. Second, talking about the spirituality of rests, I love this article by Ellis when this article says that rests can be looked at according to the creational model. And what is this creational model? It has four fundamental questions in life. And what are these questions? Who am I? What should I do? How can I cope? Where can I find wholeness. Beautiful. And where is rest in these questions? Rest is in number four. Where can I find wholeness? The answer to each of these questions corresponds to four contexts of being human. And what are these four contexts? One, creation. Who am I? Two, vocation. What should I do? Three, how can I cope? Crisis as a context. And number four is the importance of rests. Beautiful question. Where can I find wholeness? It is by resting, which means that for us Christians, Sabbath rests is recreation. Recreation. Sabbath rests offers a natural context for discussing how we can move toward shalom or spiritual wholeness. And to continue, given those four questions on how we can find wholeness, the spirituality is defined. And how is spirituality defined? It is defined by finding rest through communion with God in sacred time, where we experience the divine recreating of life within us. Beautiful. Which means that spirituality is about finding this space for us to rest. And in the process, we commune with God in the sacred time and space, and we experience in this process of rest, experience this God recreating us. Recreating us. Now, to continue, this one is one of the book that I drawn with in this course, Health and Spirituality. Um, the book is about the spirituality of rests. What is the thesis of the book? The main contention of the book is that we are all rest seekers, as what I have said in my introduction. Number two, we need to identify what are we tired of, or what type of tiredness are we experiencing? And there are 7 of them: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, social, sensory, and creative. We need to identify which of the 7, and so we have to address it accordingly, because sometimes our notion of rest is just vacation, is just sleep, but not all type of tiredness can be addressed by those two. We need to address which type of tiredness. And for us to know what type of tiredness we are experiencing with is we have to take the rest quiz that calm. Another spiritual way of looking at rests is through this book that I read before. And I love this book, written by an American writer, author, Joyce Rupp, when she went to Camino de Santiago in Spain. And Joyce Rupp used this metaphor of the Camino to represent life when she said, what made her survive, what made me survive the Camino, walking the Camino for more than 30 days, was that I walk slowly. And she said that Camino is a metaphor of life. We survive life by slowing down. I think that's one of the biggest lessons that we need to learn, to slow down. Another thing is constant self-examination, or do the Ignatian prayer examine. I think when we slow down, we're invited to go deeper into ourselves, to notice the patterns in our lives that causes burnout. And finally, let me leave to you these two sets of questions, as a guide for our reflection. Number one, what struck you from the presentation? There might be an idea about the spirituality of rests. Second is, What is your story of burnout, tiredness? What is your story? Go back to your story. Go over the story. Dwell on the story. And then, looking at your life, given your story, what are your forms of rest? How do you renew yourselves? How do you recharge yourselves? Thank you very much, and God bless everyone.